Hello everyone. Let's read a beautiful and heart-touching story today called The Magic Pot. This story teaches us how an act of kindness can bring back unexpected blessings and sometimes even magic. Now let's begin with the story. So before reading, how do you feel when you help someone in need? Happy, right? Read this story about a shopkeeper who receives a magical gift in return for an act of kindness. Do you think he uses his gift to keep helping people? Let's find out. On a blazing summer afternoon, an old man came walking down a narrow village path. He was tired and thirsty. Right by the road, he spotted a tiny grocery store. The shopkeeper sat inside, fanning himself and shooing away the flies buzzing around. The old man flopped down on a little bench in front of the shop. He was so tired that for a while he could not speak. Finally, he opened his mouth and said, "Water." So, it was a blazing, scorching summer afternoon. Blazing means very hot. The sun burned fiercely in the sky and the heat was unbearable. On this hot day, an old man was walking slowly down a narrow village path. He looked tired, exhausted, and extremely thirsty. His clothes were dusty, his feet dragged, and his face showed how difficult the journey had been. Right by the road, he spotted, means he noticed a tiny grocery store. Inside the shop, what was the shopkeeper doing? The shopkeeper was lazily fanning himself and trying to shoo away the flies buzzing around, just like any typical hot summer day in a village. The moment the old man reached the shop, he could not take another step. He simply flopped down on a small bench outside. He was so tired that for a long moment he couldn't even speak. Finally, with great difficulty, he opened his dry lips and whispered just one word: water. You can almost imagine how thirsty and weak he must have been. Now, this village was near a desert. It had not rained for 2 years. The ponds and wells had dried up. Every morning, groups of men and women walked a long distance to fill their pots from a little stream. No one wanted to waste even a drop of this precious water. Now, let me tell you something important about this village. The village was close to a desert. It had not rained for almost 2 whole years. Because of this, all the ponds and wells had dried up. Water had become extremely precious. Every morning, women and men walked long distances to a tiny stream far away, carrying pots to fill just enough water for their families. No one wasted even a single drop. Water was life and it was limited. So imagine, in such a place, giving water to a stranger was not a small thing, it was an act of great kindness. What happens next? Does the shopkeeper offer water even when water is so precious? Let's move to the next slide to find out. Yet, how do you say no to an old man when he asks for water? Without a second thought, the shopkeeper Ravi, who was very kind-hearted, poured out a tumbler of water from his pot and gave it to the old man. The old man drank it up greedily. Then he said, "More." Without waiting for Ravi, he lunged for the pot and drank up Ravi's day's supply of water. Now, students, remember the old man had whispered just one desperate word: water. And here comes the important question. How can someone say no to an old man who is thirsty, especially in such terrible heat? Ravi, the shopkeeper, was a kind-hearted man. He didn't stop to think about how precious water was in the desert. He didn't calculate or hesitate. Instead, without a single thought, he picked up his pot and gently poured a tumbler of water for the old man. Tumbler means a simple drinking glass. Ravi handed the water to the old man with kindness and concern. The old man grabbed the tumbler and drank it greedily as if he had been thirsty for days. His hands shook, his throat gulped, and within seconds the tumbler was empty. Then he looked up and said, "More." Ravi was surprised, but before he could react, The old man suddenly lunged for the pot. The word lunged means jumped forward quickly. The old man snatched the entire pot and began drinking directly from it. And within moments, he drank up Ravi's entire day's supply of water. Just imagine in a village where water was so scarce, this was everything Ravi had saved for the whole day and gone in a single moment. Why did the old man do this? Was he really just thirsty, or is there more to this story than what we see? This surprising moment is actually the turning point of the story. Let's go to the next slide to discover what happens after this. Poor Ravi stared in dismay. Then he told himself, never mind, after all, I did help someone in need. The stranger handed the pot back to Ravi and said, my son, help everyone who comes to you like you helped me, and you will be blessed. Ravi watched the old man disappear into the distance and then returned to his shop. That afternoon, the heat grew worse. Ravi's lips were parched and his throat hurt. Hoping to coax a drop or two out of the pot, Ravi lifted it to his lips and tilted it. Imagine his surprise when sweet, refreshing water gushed out. Ravi was staring at the pot, trying to understand what just happened, when Karim limped into his shop. Karim was a young man whom an accident had left with a limp. Karim flopped down on the bench in front of the shop and handed a shopping list to Ravi. As Ravi packed the items on the list, Karim opened a little bundle of food and ate his lunch. When he finished, he pointed to Ravi's pot. May I take a little sip? Ravi said without looking up. I would be happy to offer you some, but there is hardly any water in the pot. What are you saying, my friend? The pot is brimming with water. So, what happened? After the old man finished drinking every last drop of water, Ravi just stood there, completely shocked. The book says Ravi stared in dismay. Dismay means he felt upset, helpless, and surprised all at once. But then Ravi reminded himself, never mind, after all, I did help someone in need. This shows us Ravi's character. He's kind, selfless, and always ready to help others. Before leaving, the old man handed the pot back to Ravi. He looked at Ravi with warmth in his eyes and said, my son, help everyone who comes to you like you helped me, and you will be blessed. These words were simple, but they carried a kind of magic. Ravi didn't understand it yet, but this blessing was going to change his life. The old man slowly walked away until he disappeared into the distance, and Ravi returned to his small shop. By afternoon, the heat became even more unbearable. Ravi's lips were dry and parched. That means they felt cracked from thirst. His throat burned. He wished he had even one drop of water. He lifted the same pot the old man had emptied earlier, just hoping that maybe a drop or two had been left behind. He tilted it gently to his lips, and suddenly water gushed out. Not just a drop, not just a sip, but sweet, cool, refreshing water flowed out as if the pot were full. Ravi was stunned. He stared at the pot in disbelief. He did not believe it. How is this possible? He wondered. This was when he realized the old man's blessing was real. The pot had become a magic pot. Now Karim arrives. Just then, a young man named Karim limped into the shop. He had been injured in an accident earlier, so he walked with a limp. Karim sank onto the bench and gave Ravi a shopping list. When Ravi packed the items, Karim opened his little bundle of food and calmly started eating his lunch. When he finished, Karim pointed to Ravi's pot and politely asked, May I take a little sip? Ravi replied honestly, I would be happy to offer you some, but there is hardly any water left in the pot. Karim laughed and said, What are you saying, my friend? The pot is brimming with water. Brimming means full to the top. Ravi was confused, but this was only the beginning of many surprises. Ravi looked up in disbelief. Karim poured out a tumbler full of water and drank it. Then he paid for the groceries and left. So the magic pot has revealed itself, and now Ravi must decide. Will he share this miracle with others? Will he remember the old man's words? Karim had just told Ravi that the pot was brimming with water, and Ravi couldn't believe it. That is the meaning of disbelief. He quickly looked up at the pot and watched as Karim poured out a full tumbler, drank it, and smiled in satisfaction. Then Karim paid for his groceries and walked away. But the magic wasn't over yet. After some time, Ravi dozed off. After working in the scorching heat all morning, Ravi felt tired. He sat down for a moment and slowly dozed off. Dozed off means he fell into a light sleep, not deep but just a short nap. He woke with a start. He woke with a start. Someone was calling his name loudly. Someone was calling his name urgently. He opened his eyes to find Karim back. Brother, we need your help, Karim urged. Fatima, my sister is burning with fever. Then go to a doctor. Why have you brought her to a grocery shop? Karim stared at him and said, But you just helped me. My leg, which has been troubling me for many years, healed up as soon as I drank the water from your magic pitcher. So Ravi opened his eyes to see Karim standing in front of him, but this time Karim wasn't calm. He looked worried. Brother, we need your help, he urged. Urged means requested strongly. He pointed toward a girl sitting on the bench, his sister Fatima. She looked weak, tired, and uncomfortable. Karim said, Fatima is burning with fever. Ravi was confused. He said, Then go to a doctor. Why have you brought her to a grocery shop? And this is where the story takes a magical turn. Karim stared at Ravi in disbelief and said, But you just helped me. Then he explained, My leg, which has been troubling me for many years, healed up the moment I drank the water from your magic pitcher. Pitcher means a large jug. Karim could hardly believe it himself. Years of pain had disappeared instantly, and now he hoped the same magic water would help his sister. What will Ravi do now? Will the magic pot help Fatima too? Will Ravi continue to use this gift to heal and help others? Let's see all that in the next video. So keep watching, keep learning children. Bye bye. Thank you.